Another successful harvest host in the books.
Yep, this time we stayed at a golf course here in Craig, Colorado.
We are on our way to Grand Junction, so this was a perfect stop. And although we didn't play golf today, you can play golf if you decide to stay at a golf course harvest host.
Right.
But we did partake in the bar, football, and brew.
Yeah, in that order, I think. It was a little too cold for us to play golf. And one, we don't play golf. So two excuses why we couldn't play. But we are right next to a small airport. And I think 3 planes took off.
Maybe.
Yeah, and they're small little planes. So it's not like there's a ton of noise. And when you do hear them, it's for like 10 seconds. So it's really not that bad.
And I don't think any took off or landed overnight. It was just during normal business hours.
Yeah. So, I mean, it was pretty cool. I did get to see a guy roll out in a hang glider this morning and take off. So that was pretty cool.
So from here, we have to get more propane.
Yeah.
It's been a little chilly. We've been going through the propane. We have just a little under half.
Yeah.
So I went online to my Allstays app, and I'm telling you all this because people are asking us. So I went online to my Allstays app and did a search specifically for propane. I found a place that's about 3 miles from us, and it's on our route. So after I found it, I went online. I did a Google search so I can see if we are able to get around the business. And then I called them to make sure that they would do onboard propane tanks like with our motorhome, and B, if we would actually fit. And after talking to the third person, they think it'll work. So we're going to try it out.
Yeah, it's always good to pull up the Google map or any kind of map where you have a satellite view so that you can see your in and out and where the tank is specifically. Because as most of you know, the propane tanks aren't in the most optimal places for RVers. I don't know why they do it that way, but it is what it is. And we always like to check it out before we go in so we don't get stuck and we don't want to have to unhook the Jeep.
Yeah, so it looks like we have an easy entrance and exit right circle around the parking lot. So this time we're going to show you our endeavor. Just if we get stuck, then you'll see that too.
Yeah, I'm going for not getting stuck.
Yeah, me too. I think it's going to be an easy propane fill. So, and for us, we do prefer to go to companies like this. This is an independent company. Well, I guess it's not. It's kind of like
It's just a local company here in Craig.
But they're similar to, what's the name of that store, the more popular store? It's called
Tractor
Murdoch's.
Supply.
But it's similar to a Tractor Supply in this area. It's called Murdoch's. So we're going to check this out. It is sometimes much easier to go to these places and cheaper than if you go to like a Flying J or Love's or something like that, which is even harder to get close to their propane fills.
Yeah, and the one question that we failed to ask was, how much is your propane?
I know, I can't believe I didn't ask. All done, it was $27.05 for the total, and it was $2.79 a gallon.
Not bad. We put in almost 9 gallons.
Yeah, 8.9. So that's it, and we're all full. So that's not a bad price for propane. That's pretty good. Now we are off to another harvest host. This harvest host might be something you find interesting.
We stopped so we could get something to drink and go to the bathroom.
Well, so Phil could.
Yeah, of course, I can't get up while driving. So I'm at a gas station parked in the back 40 so that I could go to the bathroom. And Stacy says, I'll go in and get us a drink or a snack. So she goes in and she comes back with a drink because they have no snacks. But she says, I've got an idea. She walks across the street and she says, let's get pizza for lunch. Who am I to complain? I love pizza. I would eat pizza 3 times a day. In fact, pizza should be its own food group if it were up to me. So this was a great stop. And as you can see by the parking lot, we had plenty enough space to pull in, pull around. And let me show you. The gas station is over there. I don't even know how she saw it. I really don't care. All I know is we ended up in the Domino's parking lot for lunch. All I wanted was a drink and a snack. I would have been good. No, she had to go ruin my whole keto diet.
He's so not keto. He's such a lie. Oh my God.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm kind of Every now and then I'll eat keto, but...
Well, no. He eats keto when I cook keto. That is Phil's keto diet. Because I'm cooking keto, that's the only time he eats it.
Okay, so I'm keto 2.0 maybe. Keto light.
Keto-ish.
Keto-ish. We've ridden the bikes in a lot of off-road, dirty, dusty, muddy, wet conditions. So I like to keep them clean as much as I can. And I use the 3-in-1 multi-purpose oil on the chain, the hinges, and a couple other parts that get a little rusty. This stuff is really cool. It comes out in a steady stream, so it's not spraying all over your bike and getting it wet where you got to wipe everything off. I'm going to apply this to the chain and the frame hinge, as well as some other spots on the bike. Other uses for the 3-in-1 multi-purpose oil are on the RV stairs, the hinges. So any moving part that has a hinge, you can use the oil on. This is also good for rusted nuts and bolts, the trailer hitch on the RV. So it's definitely, when it says multi-purpose, they mean multi-purpose.
We've made it to our next location, which is another Harvest Host. You know we love them.
That's right. And it's not a drinking Harvest Host. It's not a brewery. It's not a winery.
Shocking as it may sound.
Yeah. It is one that we never thought we would find ourselves at.
And it is a hemp farm. And you can smell we're at a hemp farm.
Yeah. And we had to do a little research on the hemp plant, I guess is what it's called, or hemp tree, just to see what qualities the hemp brought to us.
Yes, and this is not the smoke it and toke it kind of plant.
Nope.
There's less than 3% of any kind of
THC.
Getting high substance in these, and a lot of producers, whenever they harvest them, take that out as well.
Yeah.
So this is strictly for CBD oil. We're not going to debate the benefits of that on here. This farm is owned by the nicest couple you would ever meet. They're so sweet. They welcomed us. They have a nice flat spot for us to park right behind a house here at the small farm. And the best part is the owner makes documentaries for his day job, and he's a director. So of course I wanted to pick his brain. But unfortunately, he's out of town right now, so he can't help me improve my editing.
That's right. But his wife did come by, and she gave us a little hemp 101 on the farm and whatnot. And let me tell you, it was pretty interesting.
It's very interesting.
They've got a good thing going here.
As a matter of fact, the first documentary that he did about the hemp farm, his first one, he submitted to Sundance. And I'm going to put a link below for you to go to his YouTube channel and check out his trailer. He's really good. Yeah, so I got to meet up with him.
I was hooked in the beginning of that. Well, one, because I'm interested in it now. I didn't know much about hemp. I knew THC and what it did for you, but not necessarily hemp. So this was an educational stop, dare I say, for me.
Yeah, and like I said, they're super nice. And check out this view behind us. That is just unbelievable when the sun goes down and it turns pink. It's gorgeous.
Yeah, and if you're not familiar with this area and what that peak is right there, that's Mount Garfield.
Yes. And we've loved staring at it out our window. So again, for Harvest Hosts, I'm just trying to show you that if you're not a drinker, don't be discouraged. There are so many opportunities to stay at so many types of companies and properties. There's something out there for everyone. So of course, we are affiliates with Harvest Hosts. I'm dropping our link down below, and we have a 15% off coupon if you want to join and stay at these amazing places.
Yeah, if you're cutting through Grand Junction and the Clifton area, it's between Grand Junction and Palisades,
which are the two places you're gonna want to explore, and this is right in the middle.
Yeah, this is a great stop.
If you're coming to this area, there are two main downtown areas you want to check out: Palisades and Grand Junction.
Yep.
And let me tell you, as you're driving through or to either one, the views here are epic everywhere you turn.
Yeah, again, literally, you're stuck in a bowl and you're looking up at these cliffs, and there's something about them. There's not a lot of wildlife or nature on them, but they're just freaking awesome to look at.
Yeah, we are in the desert, so you know, if it's not being watered, it is brown sand, dirt flying everywhere. So, but it is gorgeous. Now, if you come here, there's a ton of stuff you can do. You can mountain bike, you can go hiking. There's kayaking, whitewater rafting on the Colorado.
Yeah.
The wineries, they are known for their wineries here, and there's some breweries too. So there is definitely something for everyone.
Some breweries. There are a ton of breweries around here.
Like 5 or 6, I don't know. The list was long when we Googled them.
And the Colorado River, let me tell you, it looks really inviting. But something tells me it's really cold this time of year.
It might be. Although we're staying in this area for free with our harvest host and at BLM land, if you want to fork out a little money, you could have this view.
This is one awesome view. I mean, it feels like you're down in a dome with walls that you can't get out, almost like the Maze Runner.
This would make some epic sunrise and sunset views.
And I'm sure, and I'm pretty sure, I've seen a ton of mountain bikes around here. There's got to be some epic trails around here as well. So this has got to be a nice spot. And it's been vouched for by...
Yes, our epic field trip. Our friends Scott and Christina stayed here when they were in the area, and they love the views every morning.
Yeah, it's a really nice park. We just pulled into the first spot we saw to record this. And I can tell you that it's well maintained, well groomed.
Yeah.
I would stay here. But we're staying for free.
Yeah, we're still trying to balance that budget, COVID/surgery budget. So we had to say no to this place. But it is gorgeous. I'll put a link down below in case you're looking for a really nice campground with hookups to be at this area. This is a great place.
Yeah.
For all of you small RVers, small Class Cs or vans, you can come right down here and be right on the side of the river. But I got to tell you, it doesn't offer as great of views as up at the top. As most of you may know, we are inching closer and closer to 100K.
And you know what? That is super freaking exciting because I'm a numbers dude and those numbers are climbing.
That's right. But it's thanks to you guys
that
we're getting closer and closer. So we were trying to figure out a way to celebrate, including you.
Yeah, because without you, there would be no you, me, and the RV. That's for dang sure.
Absolutely. So we want some ideas. Comments down below. Come up with some ideas. What do you think we should do to celebrate and include you as a part of the celebration?
Yeah, and I'm going to throw this out there right now. We're not looking to do any big old giveaway because that's done all the time. It's repeated. We've already done that once. And
twice, actually.
That's right.
Yeah.
But we're looking for something different that's including you guys.
Now, it can't be a meetup.
No.
As you guys know, with COVID, we aren't doing meetups. We do miss them, and we can't wait to do them again in the future. But for now, meetups aren't an option.
Yeah, so that's 2 things you can take off the table. So we're helping you out with some ideas, but get creative and think. You know, we're all in this together. We're all kind of social distancing at our own pace, if you will. But we wanted to be something cool and something that no other channel has done. Reaching this milestone.
That's right.
How about
so
that?
Put on your thinking caps and comment down below. All right, we're giving shout outs today. A big fat shout out and a big thank you to our community because our veterans are benefiting from all your generosity.
That's right. And I'm going to add to that big fat shout out and let you know that we are getting closer to that 15K goal. We are $2,090 away from reaching $15,000.
And that was our goal by Christmas. So something tells me I'm going to be thankful this Thanksgiving for more than just a big fat turkey.
Yeah, and we appreciate you during this time, and
Yes.
I say this time, this tumultuous year we're having.
2020. Woo, big
word,
words.
tumultuous. But you found it in your heart to reach down and, you know, contribute 5, 10, whatever it is that you thought you could afford. Every little bit helps, and trust me, we're getting feedback from Homes for Our Troops, and they are loving what's coming in.
That's right. And just remember, if you're looking for a charity because taxes is coming and you need a tax deduction, this is the perfect place to drop off your funds because I'm telling you, those veterans will love you for it, and it will make a difference in not just the veteran's life, but the life of the whole family.
Spot on.
We have a lot of new subscribers to the channel, and we want to make sure everyone knows about our blog, todayissomeday.net.
And thanks for finding us, by the way. We really appreciate the love.
Now, on the blog, you can find a ton of information about RVing and travel. That is helpful for everyone, and that's newbies and those who have gotten a ton of experience along the way.
That's right. There's all kinds of things on it. We put informative stuff, things that we think the community might need to know about, but more importantly, We have a good margarita recipe on there that you got to go check out.
It's actually our most popular blog post. So if you like a good margarita, you have to check out this recipe. It is delicious. But apart from the booze, we do have a lot of other great information like how to weigh your RV and how to cut camping costs and a ton of things you can download like checklists and a maintenance spreadsheet. So head on over to todayissomeday.net and check it out. I bet you're wondering where we are.
Give you 3 guesses. First 2 are wrong.
As you know, we run behind not only on our videos, but also our social media. So Instagram, Facebook, they're all behind. So, but what we're doing right now is where we are, or when this video is released.
We are right where we are right now. Did you get that?
I know it's a little confusing, but what I'm trying to say is we are working on something for you at the Big Red Barn, and we will be bringing it to you in just a couple of weeks.
So you're going to have to stick around and find out all the particulars as to what's going on
at the Big Red Barn. And finally, if you want to stay up to date on all things you, me, and the RV, travel, RVing, whatever, make sure you subscribe to our weekly newsletter. We will send you links for all of our blog posts, all of our new videos, and blog posts by other people once I find something I find interesting.
Yeah, it's jam-packed with great information, so you don't want to miss that.
And we also will keep you up to date on, what we're doing, our fundraising, or anything else going on with You, Me, and the RV.
Yeah, and there's a lot going on with You, Me, and the RV, trust me.
A lot right now, as you can, I don't know if you can tell, but it is 0 dark 30, and Phil is headed out somewhere we'll show you later.
Yeah, but I haven't had my coffee yet, so you guys are getting Phil pre-coffee.
Yeah, normally he doesn't want to talk to me if he hasn't had a cup of coffee yet. So this is like a big deal for him. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe button.
Give us a thumbs up and hit the notification bell.
And hopefully soon we'll see you
on the road.